asked
Low-key dedicated to TikTok. Sorry. Yeah, fair enough.
Senator Alyssa Slotkin, there is brand new reporting. It has broken since I've been on the air.
Intersectionality, yeah. Dude, Graham Platner, that's our goat. Motherfucker was sexting women while married. Allegedly. It could be false. On top of that, he's gotten more popular since this came out.
It's in the New York Times, and it is about Maine's Democratic Senate candidate Graham Platner. He's currently the frontrunner to become the Democratic challenger to Republican Senator Susan Collins in that pivotal midterm race in Maine. After news reports surfaced that he had sent explicit messages to women while he was married, several women came forward to the New York Times about their experience.
This always happens right before an election because Republicans pay a lot of money for women to come out. Even though if they've already been like, oh, we're not going to come out, but then Republicans will pay them a lot of money. And it's not that it's like what he did wasn't good or was bad or like one way or another. I don't really fucking care. That's him and his wife's problem. At the end of the day, it's kind of all about what they choose to do with the information, and Republicans will forever drop or will keep this information going. Why is the timer broke? Tools, scripts. Reset timer. Oh, that's why it broke. Rename. For the YouTube onlys, I'm reset timer. To start? Okay, cool. I'm doing a subathon. So, feminist during Emily. Yeah. Anyways.
With
yeah, he's gotten more popular from this. But, like, the thing is, like, what even ever? So what? Dude fucked around. Found out.
From that new New York Times reporting, quote, in
Fair
interviews
enough,
with the
RV.
New York Times on Wednesday, several women described Mr. Platner as a fun and caring partner and said they felt safe with him. Some remain friends with him to this day, years after their relationships ended. But in extensive conversations over the past 2 months, 3 other women who had been romantically involved with Mr. Platner offered a far more complicated assessment, describing volatile...
Honestly, I just, like, I don't even know what to think about it. Because I need to see proof that he was actually talking to them, and I don't even know if he's even
that were unsettling
talked about it. And on top of this, his wife told a staffer and told the staffer to not tell anybody because she was dealing with it with him.
And at times emotionally wrenching. Mr. Platner could be charming and charismatic, they recalled in interviews, but also demeaning to women and, in at least one case, even physically threatening. He drank heavily and was regularly unfaithful. End quote. It's important to tell you, our viewers,
up,
that one of the 3 is a conservative activist who has worked on Republican campaigns.
One of the 3 is a conservative activist. I don't know, man. I don't want to call like doubt on their allegations of him, but it's real sus.
But she says that she would have spoken out even if Graham Platner was a Republican candidate. She disputes Platner's claim that he did not know that the tattoo on his chest was a Nazi symbol. From that part of this new
we know he knew.
Reporting, quote, Mr.
Why does this guy's scandal matter so much? I'm new to this. Because he is a very important left-leaning figure.
Platner, she said, knew when they were dating years ago that the tattoo was a Nazi symbol and that he called it my Totenkopf. The Platner campaign, quote, strongly disputes that claim that he knew about the tattoo and that he told her about it. Graham Platner will be Chris Hayes' guest in his first national interview since his story broke this afternoon. That happens tonight at 8 o'clock on All In. For our coverage, I want to bring in political analyst and host of the Bulwark podcast, Tim Miller, with me at the table. As I've been going through this story and this reporting, is my friend and colleague, our political analyst, Molly
What's
Johnson.
happening? Graham Platner cheated on his wife.
And a New York Times contributing opinion writer. Tim Miller, I start with you.
Groundbreaking internet is here.
Bruh.
Hey, look, Nicole, this is a complicated one, and it's ongoing.
It's not very believable. Sorry, I'm not a politics guy. Thank you, Junior, for the raid. It's not very believable. Sorry, I'm not a I mean, yeah. I mean, we're saying it's believable, but like I'm not gonna cast doubt on it. But at the end of the day, like I don't even know if this matters because like he cheated on his wife, and this I don't know, man. I think the most important thing here is that he is actively fighting for rights for people.
And so there's some elements to it. So I'm just going to walk through what I think are the key parts. Number one.
What's up, Cannon?
I think as Senator Slotkin said, look, any accusations of any type of inappropriate behavior around women should be taken seriously, and the Democrats have shown that they've taken it seriously in the past.
Yeah, and I agree. Like it should be taken seriously, but like also we need to be like we need to have like it needs to be shown that it happened. I don't know.
Whether that be Andrew Cuomo or Al Franken, and I think that the Democrats have credibility on this issue for a reason. In this story, it is only the one woman that was the Republican activist that makes any accusations of like him putting his hands on her. The other women don't say that. It's more just about kind of drinking and volatile behavior. And so, I think that the question is, like, what else could possibly come up? And I think that takes us to the political part of this. Like, just to do rank politics here, like, this is an extremely important Senate race for our democracy. The Democrats need to pick up 4 Senate seats to take over the Senate and to control Supreme Court nominations, to be able to control the floor for any nominations that Donald Trump wants to put forward for Attorney General or DNI or any important roles in his administration. Like they have to, those cabinet officials ostensibly will have to be confirmed by the Senate. So taking over the Senate is very important. And
thank you for the follow.
It's pretty hard to do without Maine. And you just look at the map, and North Carolina, Roy Cooper looks very good. A good poll in Ohio for Sherrod Brown. That's 2.
I need to see his polling right now. Graham, Platner. Jesus Christ, the Fox headline on this is insane. He's still leading in the polls? Wait, when did this shit come out? Today? Okay, this was a day ago. This shit's fucking funny, man. He gets in controversies time and time again, and then he does better in the polling time and time again. Kind of like art versus artist, unless I'm dumb. No, I mean, I just don't know if he did it. I don't know what they're accusing him is what he did. It's all secondhand information, and there's been no true investigation.
Then you get into some pretty big red states. Iowa, the Democrats have a good candidate. Texas, Tellurico, Alaska, they have a good candidate. But those are all states Democrats haven't won in a long time. Democrats have won Maine the last 3 cycles. And all Democrats need to do to win Maine is nominate somebody that gets all of the Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris.
Yeah, of course Susan Collins is blasting him.
Voters. And so it seems like kind of a silly place to take a big risk. And I think that is the strongest case against Platner, whether you're a huge Platner fan or a Platner opponent. Like, I think there's a prudential question of, like, is this Senate race the place to take this type of risk? I do think the last...
Why, dude? Jesus. Did they say he has a Nazi tattoo? Yeah, he had one, and he got it covered up. He got it when he was drunk in Croatia, where there's a bunch of Nazis when he was in the military. And then he said he didn't know what it was, which I don't believe. I think he knew what it was, but thought of it as like a cool story. Be like, oh, I was drunk in the military in Croatia while I was in deployment and got this tattoo like a stupid asshole. Blah, 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 blah.
Thing I'd say is I get a little bit frustrated with this, and I'm sure some Platner fans do as well, with like all of the focus on these things that he's done in the past as compared to what Susan Collins has done as an actual senator. And the tattoo thing in particular, I just feel it's incumbent to mention that regardless of what you think about his tattoo, which he covered up, he's not proposing any Nazi-like policies.
Exactly. This guy is doing so much good work for Platner here. I love the way he's talking about him.
And Susan Collins was the chair of the Appropriations Committee when we sent people to a foreign gulag based on their race, and based on the tattoos they have. So I'm not here to say that that was a Nazi policy, but it's certainly a heck of a lot closer than anything that Graham Platner is proposing. And so
I want to see what Fox's reaction was to this. Oh my God, dude. Because, you know, Fox, Graham Platner.
He's been caught on a hookup app that the New York Times labeled a haven for predators. Most of the people on the app are minors. And he's been sending a dozen...
So I trust in your opinions regarding him. Yeah, I mean, he's a really... I mean, at the end of the day, we need him over Susan Collins.
Randos, a lot of sexts. His wife caught him. He also admitted to doing cocaine when he was in the Marines, but Barack did blow him. He became president, so it is what it is. He's got a Nazi tattoo on his chest.
Jesus, man. I love the way that Fox News...
To say to reporters.
You deserve to represent Maine. You have no shame.
And this just in. Word on the street, the Platner campaign's bracing for another scandal. It's reportedly much worse than the sexting and the tattoo. Campaign headquarters is at DEFCON 1, damage control. He didn't have much to say to reporters.
That escalated quickly. Yeah, dude, this is like Fox's News is just losing their shit, man. I don't even know what to say.
A bombshell sexting scandal rocking Democrat Graham Platner's primary bid for the U.S. Senate in Maine. Platner's campaign now dragging his wife into the mess to try to explain it.
No, his wife didn't want this coming out.
It makes me really angry, disappointed, and I find it really shameful that there's a group of media outlets and people who are willing to spread gossip.
She's talking about you, Fox!
Instead of talking about real issues that Graham is...
What the fuck? She's talking about you! Why are we... Where did my monster go? Why are we showing this? Where the... Man, I put my monster somewhere and I don't know where it's at.
Is running on, like healthcare and education and childcare.
Our city correspondent Eric Sean with all the details. Speaking of spreading gossip, wasn't it?
Don't you guys support a rapist pedophile who's in office right now, called the President of the United States?
His wife who brought this to the campaign's attention?
Well, yeah, apparently.
In private!
That's the report, John, that she did last August, and that has now sparked new questions about the Maine Democratic Senate candidate being raised today by Democrats. That after the revelations that he engaged in sexual texts with multiple women.
So what? Dude gets pussy! You're just upset!
Platner has been hit with the accusations that he had been sexting women last year. He married his wife, Amy, last year. The texting became public after...
Dude, yeah, like what even ever? She's so clearly in support of him.
Reporting, including in the Wall Street Journal, that Amy told the campaign about it in the summer, hoping to contain any political damage. Well, the former campaign staffer who initially spoke to the Wall Street Journal about the text, later posting a text message from another staffer that she says threatened to smear her and calls her a liar if she went on the record with the story about the text. Oh, this happens to be just the latest controversy over the candidate. You know, an old social media post, Platner called white rural people stupid and racist.
He's so right, though. White rural people are stupid and racist. Dude, Fox News, man, they never disappoint me. I'm watching MS Now or CBS, it's like the most stupid, annoying fucking bullshit on earth. Like, it's just so basic. And then Fox News actually gives me something to sink my teeth into.
Dismissed rape in the military. He then later...
No, he did not.
Apologized for those old texts. He also had gotten us...
Well, yeah, okay, he dismissed it in old text decades ago when he was a dumbass moron, and he apologized for them.
Skull and Bones, a tattoo that some say resembled a Nazi symbol.
It was a Nazi symbol.
He was in the Marines in 2007. He has since covered that up. Platner did not address the substance of his texts, but he does blame the media for reporting on them.
Yeah.
It's no surprise to me that the establishment media outlets are just going to run gossip.
Infinite money from Israel is trying to stop this guy, by the way.
Instead of wanting to talk about the things that actually matter in this race, which are the material realities that the Mainers are working with. These people are going to try to make this race about anything but what it's supposed to be about, which is policy.
Oh, the Democratic primary is...
I don't know. So, yeah, if you haven't... Oh, my God. John Fetterman, go... Get another fucking... Get out of the... Go. Get out.
Platner drop out of the main Senate
P. Hustle. Yeah, he's around. Apparently, we didn't match up on Kick. So, I guess we're not going to meet with them on that.
You're not meeting with them.
Like, what kind of a creeper has been on a decade on a platform like Kick and send...
Graham Platner, come on. Okay. Yeah, fuck you, Fetterman. And second of all, like, dude, Kick, really?
That does...
Kick is not a sexting app for minors. Kick is a messaging app. It has a bunch of minors and adults on it.
Explicit kinds of messages and who knows what else.
Yeah, but if he's on Kick, like sexting people, cheating on his wife when they like just got married, like he obviously made a mistake and then they talked about it. I'm trying to find... There it is.
Here. I want to talk to you about something. In 2007, when I was a young infantry...
Granted, if he did sext... Like, okay, I do start today's open about having it covered up. If he did sext minors, obviously that's a really bad thing. So I don't want to count my chickens before they hatched. But from what I'm seeing right now in this moment, it's like, what even ever?
Sergeant in the Marine Corps, myself and some machine gunners I served in Fallujah and Ramadi with were on our third deployment. We were in a naval vessel and we pulled in for a Liberty port in Split, Croatia. We went ashore to do the thing that young Marines do, which tends to be carousing and sometimes getting tattoos. We wanted to get something that represented our jobs, our service.
So, what I think happened is that he got the tattoo because he was drunk and thought it looked cool, realized it was a Nazi symbol, and then was like, oh, fuck, whatever, funny story.
Fighting in Fallujah and Ramadi as machine gunners. We went ashore, we found a tattoo parlor after a fair amount of heavy carousing, and we found a tattoo on the wall, a piece of flash that looked like a terrifying skull and crossbones. We thought it looked cool, and so we got it. I have had this tattoo for the last 18 years. I re-enlisted into the United States Army with this tattoo, where I was screened for hate and gang-related tattoos. I worked for the State Department as a contractor, where I got a full physical, which included screening my tattoos. I've gone through life with this thing, taking my shirt off, having photographs taken, videos taken. I've been very, very open in my life with the fact I had a skull and crossbones on my chest, because that's what I thought it was. It's come to my attention that it has a stark resemblance to a symbol that is used by neo-Nazis. And I want to say that was not the intent at all. And the idea...
This was last year, by the way,
that I've been going around with something like that utterly horrifies me. I know that symbols like this can be incredibly damaging to people, and the idea that I've had it all these years and it could have been read like that is incredibly troubling. I have lived a life dedicated to anti-fascism, anti-racism, and anti-Nazism. I think that racism and anti-Semitism are a long scourge on our society and a long scourge on our politics, and I think it has no place in our world. For that reason, I have gone and gotten it covered up. Last night, I went to a tattoo parlor, and I got this to cover up the skull and cross.
It's a pretty good tattoo. It's like a whatever tattoo. We'll have to see. We will have to see what happens going forward with Graham Platner. I'm not going to make any conviction or like any opinion just yet on like the whole thing. But like from what I'm seeing right now, it's like, yeah, it's bad, but it's not like, it's not the end of the world. But obviously if it's worse than what we're seeing, then yeah.